Why does life feel harder when you keep choosing what feels easiest? You avoid the workout, and your body becomes weaker. You delay the work, and the task grows heavier. You escape discomfort, and soon ordinary effort feels unbearable. That is the trap. Comfort does not always ruin you with pleasure. Sometimes it weakens you by teaching you to avoid anything that demands strength. In this video, you will learn how comfort quietly trains weakness, why real rest is different from avoidance, how the Stoics used voluntary discomfort, and how to rebuild discipline without turning your life into punishment. Comment discipline if you know comfort has been making too many decisions for you. The first thing to understand is that comfort is not the enemy. Rest is necessary. Sleep is necessary. Warmth, food, safety, and peace are good. The problem begins when comfort becomes the rule you obey before every decision. When the alarm rings, comfort says, stay down. When the work feels difficult, comfort says, do it later. When a conversation may become tense, comfort says, avoid it. When your body wants movement, comfort says, sit still. When your mind feels empty, comfort says, reach for the phone. When a habit is hurting you, comfort says, change tomorrow. None of these choices looks disastrous by itself. That is why they are dangerous. A weak life is rarely built in one dramatic moment. It is built through small escapes repeated until escape becomes your normal response. You do not wake up one morning without discipline. You train yourself out of discipline. Every time you make a promise and break it because the easier option appeared, you teach yourself that your word means less than your mood. Every time you avoid discomfort, you make discomfort feel more threatening. Every time you choose relief over responsibility, relief becomes stronger and responsibility becomes heavier. This is why the person who always seeks comfort often feels less comfortable over time. Their world becomes smaller. The cold feels colder. The work feels harder. Waiting feels unbearable. Silence feels empty. Boredom feels dangerous. A difficult conversation feels impossible. The body and mind adapt to what you repeatedly ask of them. Ask them to endure, and endurance grows. Ask them to escape, and the need to escape grows. Epictetus taught that freedom begins when you stop being ruled by things outside your control. But many people are not only ruled by other people, money, praise, or fear. They are ruled by temperature, by appetite, by boredom, by convenience, by the need to feel good before they act. Their mood becomes a master. If they feel motivated, they move. If they feel tired, they stop. If they feel anxious, they avoid. If they feel bored, they reach for stimulation. If they feel uncomfortable, they assume something is wrong. But discomfort is not always a warning. Sometimes discomfort is evidence that you are finally asking more of yourself. Think about the morning alarm. The alarm rings at the time you chose the night before. The person who set it had a plan. The person who hears it has a feeling. The plan says, get up. The feeling says, 5 more minutes. Those 5 minutes seem harmless. But what are you really practicing? You are practicing the belief that the decision made by your rested mind can be canceled by the discomfort felt by your sleepy body. You are teaching yourself that intention is weaker than sensation. Then the same pattern appears everywhere. You plan to work, but you do not feel ready. You plan to exercise, but you feel tired. You plan to save money, but you want relief. You plan to speak honestly, but you fear tension. The details change. The surrender is the same. This is why discipline is not mainly about productivity. It is about self-trust. Can you trust yourself to follow through when comfort objects? If the answer is no, life becomes unstable. You stop believing your own plans. You stop respecting your own promises. You need stronger emotion just to begin simple tasks. And then you wonder why motivation disappears. Motivation disappears because your mind has learned that your decisions are temporary. The Stoic answer is not to wait for better feelings. It is to act before feelings give permission. Marcus Aurelius did not begin each morning by asking whether he felt inspired. He reminded himself that he had work to do as a human being. That idea matters. Your duty does not become less real because comfort is speaking loudly. The body may want warmth. The mind may want delay. The ego may want praise. But the question remains the same. What is the right action now? Not what feels easiest. Not what removes tension fastest. What action will let you respect yourself afterward? That question separates real peace from cheap relief. Cheap relief feels good now and creates weight later. Real peace may require effort now, but it makes the mind cleaner afterward. Consider procrastination. You avoid a task because beginning feels uncomfortable. For a few minutes, relief appears. You scroll. You watch something. You clean something unimportant. You tell yourself you work better under pressure. But the task does not disappear. It follows you. It sits behind every pleasant moment. You are resting but not fully. You are watching, but part of your mind is counting the time. You are lying in bed, but tomorrow is already leaning over you. This is not comfort. It is delayed pain with background music. The Stoic move is to begin before the mind turns the task into a monster. Not finish everything. Begin. Open the file. Write the first sentence. Put on the shoes. Make the call. Wash the first plate. Do 10 minutes. Action reduces imagined weight. Avoidance increases it. Your mind fears what it keeps untouched. Once you enter the task, reality replaces imagination. The work may still be difficult, but difficulty is usually easier than dread. Comment begin if there is something you have been making heavier by avoiding it. Now look at your relationship with boredom. Many people cannot stand in a line without checking a screen. They cannot eat without watching something. They cannot walk without audio. They cannot sit in a quiet room without searching for stimulation. The problem is not technology itself. The problem is losing the ability to remain with your own mind. When every empty moment is immediately filled, attention becomes weak. You become trained to need novelty. Then slow work feels painful. Reading feels difficult. A long conversation feels too quiet. Prayer feels empty. Thinking feels uncomfortable. You are not bored because nothing exists. You are bored because your mind has been fed too much speed. Comfort is often disguised as constant stimulation. The phone gives quick relief from silence. But silence is where many important things begin. Reflection, planning, honesty, grief, creativity, self-awareness. If you fill every gap, you may avoid discomfort, but you also avoid meeting yourself. The Stoics valued attention because your life follows it. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly brought his mind back when it wandered. He did not expect perfect focus. He practiced return. That is what you need. Not a dramatic rejection of every device. A trained ability to pause before reaching. The next time boredom appears, wait 60 seconds. Do not fix it immediately. Let the urge rise. Notice it. Stay still. You are teaching your nervous system that emptiness is not an emergency. That small practice matters. A person who cannot tolerate boredom becomes easy to control. Offer stimulation, and their attention follows. A person who can remain still chooses where attention goes. Now consider physical comfort. Again, the goal is not to hate the body. The body needs care. But care and obedience are different. If you always choose the softest chair, the easiest meal, the perfect temperature, the shortest walk, and the least effort, the body adapts downward. Basic exertion begins to feel extreme. Stairs feel difficult. Cold air feels offensive. Hunger feels like crisis. Sweat feels like punishment. The body is not betraying you. It is following your training. Seneca sometimes practiced living with simple food, rough clothing, and less comfort. He did this to ask himself a question. Is this what I feared? He wanted to know whether hardship was truly unbearable or merely unfamiliar. Voluntary discomfort gave him evidence. He could endure more than comfort had told him. This is not about pretending poverty is noble or suffering is automatically good. It is about removing unnecessary fear. If you occasionally choose a simpler meal, walk when you could drive, take a cooler shower, train when you would rather sit, or spend time without entertainment, you remind yourself that discomfort does not own you. You do not need to make life miserable. You need to stop making comfort sacred. A useful practice should leave you stronger, clearer, and more capable. Not injured, not exhausted, not proud of needless suffering. Stoicism is not self-punishment. It is self-command. The test is simple. Are you choosing discomfort to build strength or to prove something to your ego? One creates discipline. The other creates theater. Now look at difficult conversations. Comfort does not only weaken the body, it weakens honesty. You know something needs to be said. A boundary is being crossed. A relationship is becoming one-sided. Someone keeps disrespecting your time. A mistake needs to be admitted. An apology is owed. But speaking may create tension. So you delay. You soften the truth until it disappears. You pretend not to mind. You say yes while resentment grows. You smile in the room and complain after leaving. This feels peaceful in the moment. But avoided truth does not create peace. It creates pressure. Every unsaid boundary becomes another lesson in how to mistreat you. Every hidden resentment becomes a future explosion. Every delayed apology makes repair harder. Comfort says, keep the room calm. Wisdom asks, what will this silence cost later? A Stoic values courage, but courage is not always facing battle. Sometimes courage is saying, this is not working. Sometimes it is saying, I was wrong. Sometimes it is saying no, without writing a speech to justify it. Sometimes it is telling someone you care about that their behavior is hurting the relationship. The goal is not conflict. The goal is clean truth. You can speak calmly. You can choose timing carefully. You can listen, but do not confuse avoidance with kindness. Kindness without honesty becomes weakness wearing a pleasant face. Now consider emotional comfort. Some people avoid every feeling they do not like. Sadness appears, so they distract. Anxiety appears, so they escape. Loneliness appears, so they contact someone who is bad for them. Shame appears, so they become defensive. Anger appears, so they attack. They are not choosing actions. They are trying to remove feelings. This makes emotion powerful. The person who must immediately escape a feeling becomes controlled by that feeling. Stoicism teaches a different relationship. A feeling can be present without becoming a command. You can feel anxious and still make the call. You can feel lonely and still refuse the wrong person. You can feel embarrassed and still admit the mistake. You can feel tired and still complete the essential task. You can feel afraid and still tell the truth. The feeling does not need to disappear first. This is one of the most important forms of freedom. You stop asking, "How do I get rid of this feeling?" You begin asking, "How should I act while this feeling is here?" That question returns authority to you. The feeling may stay, but the steering wheel changes hands. This is how emotional endurance grows. Not by becoming numb, by remaining aligned while emotion makes noise. Comfort weakens you when you treat every unpleasant emotion as an order to stop. Strength grows when you let emotion speak without letting it decide. Now let us separate rest from avoidance. This matters because people often hear a message about discipline and become extreme. They start treating exhaustion like virtue. They push through illness. They feel guilty for sleeping. They make every day a test. That is not wisdom. Real rest repairs you so you can return to duty. Avoidance removes you from duty without restoring you. Real rest has an end. Avoidance keeps negotiating for more. Real rest leaves you clearer. Avoidance often leaves you foggy, guilty, and more tired. Real rest is chosen. Avoidance feels compulsive. Ask yourself after an hour of comfort, do I feel restored or merely sedated? That question exposes much. A walk may restore you. 4 hours of scrolling may sedate you. Sleep may restore you. Staying in bed because you fear the day may weaken you. A quiet meal may restore you. Eating to escape emotion may leave you heavier. The action alone does not tell the whole story. The purpose and result matter. The Stoic life is not a war against pleasure. It is a life where pleasure cannot buy your obedience. You can enjoy comfort without needing it. You can rest without becoming passive. You can appreciate softness without losing hardness. You can own useful things without becoming useless without them. That balance is the goal. Now ask a harder question. Where has comfort already made your life smaller? Maybe you stopped applying because rejection feels uncomfortable. Maybe you stopped exercising because soreness feels uncomfortable. Maybe you remain in a weak relationship because loneliness feels uncomfortable. Maybe you avoid learning because feeling unskilled is uncomfortable. Maybe you refuse to begin because being a beginner threatens your pride. Maybe you keep the same routine because uncertainty frightens you. Comfort often protects identity. You like feeling competent, so you avoid new skills. You like feeling accepted, so you avoid honest disagreement. You like feeling safe, so you avoid meaningful risk. You like feeling in control, so you never enter situations where growth is possible. Then life becomes predictable. But predictability is not always peace. Sometimes it is a beautifully decorated cage. The door is open, but discomfort stands outside it. So you remain. The Stoics would ask whether your fear is protecting your character or merely protecting convenience. That distinction matters. Some risks are foolish. Some limits are wise. But many people call fear wisdom because wisdom sounds more respectable. They say this is not the right time. I need more information. I will begin when life settles down. I am just being realistic. Sometimes that is true. Sometimes it is comfort using intelligent words. You know the difference by your pattern. Have you been preparing or hiding? Have you been recovering or delaying? Have you been thinking or circling? Have you been waiting for the right moment or asking for a moment with no discomfort? There is no such moment. Any meaningful change will ask you to leave something familiar. The first workout will be uncomfortable. The first honest boundary will feel unnatural. The first day without the habit will feel empty. The first attempt may embarrass you. The first week may not feel rewarding. That is not evidence you should stop. It is often the entrance fee. Comment uncomfortable if you are ready to stop treating every difficult feeling like a stop sign. Now let us make this practical. You do not need a dramatic life transformation tonight. You need evidence that you can act against comfort. Choose one area. Only one. The morning. The phone. The body. The work. The food. The conversation. The money. The habit. Then create a small rule. Not a wish. A rule. When the alarm rings, feet touch the floor before the mind begins negotiating. The phone stays outside the room for the first 30 minutes. The difficult task begins before entertainment. You walk for 20 minutes even when motivation is absent. You tell the truth before resentment grows. You stop eating when your body is satisfied, not when the plate is empty. You wait 10 minutes before obeying an urge. You save first and spend second. A rule reduces argument. Without a rule, every moment becomes a courtroom. Comfort presents its case. Your mood testifies. Your excuses act as witnesses. Soon, the easier choice wins. A clear rule closes the trial. This is what I do. Not because I always feel strong. Because I decided while I could think clearly. Start small enough that you can repeat it. The goal is not to impress yourself once. The goal is to become trustworthy. One hard morning, followed by 6 abandoned mornings, teaches little. A modest rule kept for 30 days changes identity. Repetition matters more than drama. The Stoics practice daily because character is not stored permanently. It must be used. Marcus Aurelius wrote reminders because even an emperor needed reminders. Seneca examined his day because wisdom does not remove weakness automatically. Epictetus taught students to practice, not merely admire philosophy. Knowing is not enough. You can know every quote and still obey every craving. You can understand discipline and still avoid the task. You can speak about courage and still hide from truth. Philosophy becomes useful only when it enters behavior. So use discomfort as a training ground. When you feel the urge to delay, begin. When you feel the urge to check, wait. When you feel the urge to complain, act. When you feel the urge to explain your boundary endlessly, state it clearly. When you feel the urge to quit because progress is slow, complete the planned amount. You are not fighting the whole future. You are training in the present moment. That is manageable. One urge, one choice, one kept promise. This is how the relationship with yourself changes. At first, discipline feels like restriction. Then it becomes protection. It protects the morning from the phone. It protects the body from impulse. It protects money from emotion. It protects work from mood. It protects peace from avoidance. It protects your future from the version of you that always wants relief now. The undisciplined person thinks freedom means doing whatever he feels. But if every feeling can command him, he is not free. He is available to every impulse. Real freedom is being able to say yes or no according to reason. You can enjoy pleasure without needing to continue. You can feel tired without abandoning duty. You can feel desire without obeying. You can feel fear without retreating. You can feel boredom without reaching. You can feel discomfort without assuming danger. That is strength. Quiet strength. The kind that does not need an audience. Now imagine two versions of yourself 1 year from today. One keeps choosing the easier option. One snoozes. One delays. One checks. One avoids. One promises tomorrow. Nothing collapses immediately. But the body weakens. The work piles up. The mind becomes less focused. The promises mean less. The world feels harder because the person has become less prepared to meet it. The other version does not become perfect. That person still feels tired, still feels fear, still wants comfort. But each day includes one act of command. Getting up, beginning, training, speaking, refusing, finishing. The acts are small. The result is not. The body becomes more capable. The mind becomes steadier. Difficult tasks lose some of their terror. Self-respect grows. Life is still difficult, but the person is no longer surprised by difficulty. Which version are you training today? Not which one do you admire. Not which one do you intend to become. Which one are your actions training? That is the only question that matters. Comfort promises to make life easier. But when obeyed too often, it makes you weaker than life. Discipline does not promise an easy life. It promises that you will be more ready for the life that arrives. That is a better promise. So here is your challenge. For the next 24 hours, choose one clean discomfort on purpose. Wake when you said you would. Take the walk. Finish the task before entertainment. Eat the simpler meal. Leave the phone in another room. Have the honest conversation. Sit with boredom without fixing it. Do not choose something dangerous. Do not punish yourself. Choose something that reminds you that comfort is a preference, not a command. Then notice what happens. The urge rises. The mind negotiates. The body complains. And then if you remain, the wave passes. You discover something comfort did not want you to know. You can endure more than you thought. That discovery is valuable. Because every time you prove you can tolerate discomfort, fear loses territory. You stop needing perfect conditions. You stop waiting for the right mood. You stop treating effort as an emergency. You become available for a larger life. Comment 24 if you are accepting the challenge. And write the one discomfort you are choosing, even if it is only one word. Walk, work, truth, phone, food, morning. Let the comment become a public promise. Comfort will still speak tomorrow. It will say one day does not matter. It will say begin later. It will say you deserve relief. Maybe you do deserve rest. But make sure it is rest, not surrender pretending to care for you. Remember the difference. Rest restores your strength. Avoidance spends it. Pleasure can refresh life. Dependence on pleasure shrinks it. Comfort can serve you. It must never govern you. The goal is not to become hard, cold, or joyless. The goal is to become capable. Capable of acting when motivation is absent. Capable of standing in discomfort without panic. Capable of choosing long-term peace over short-term relief. Capable of trusting your own word. That is what discipline gives you. Not punishment, not perfection, self-respect. And self-respect is built every time you choose what is right, while what is easy is standing beside it. If this video reached you at the right time, subscribe to Stoic Echoes for more lessons on discipline, inner strength, emotional control, and self-respect. But do not leave with only a feeling. Choose the action. Set the rule. Accept the 24-hour challenge. Because comfort is not loudly destroying you. It is quietly teaching you to retreat. Today, teach yourself something different.